How often do you get a support that's cracked? Oh, great question. 1 out of 1,000 games, I'm pretty sure. This is the biggest support smurf I've seen in a very long time. That's not even a question. Like, what an absolute god. I've called this guy god like 10 times, but for a good reason. He really is. He's too good at this video game. That's all there is to it.
The intro might have been a little bit clickbaity, because what I'm doing in this game is actually just common sense. Although most people, about 99%, whatever, just either don't think about these things, or they are just autopiloting and they don't see the opportunities. But either way, what I am going to do today is I will be going over the replay of the game and kind of telling you what is going on in my head when I'm making certain decisions. Those certain decisions ended up getting me 1 LP per minute, actually a little bit more. So yeah, this game was a pretty decent game to be played. But the first thing that I'm doing here is something that I like to do on Thresh, on Pike, pretty much anything that has a lot of kill potential in the early game, or that likes to roam a lot in the early game, where you put down your Trinket at level 1 and swap it over to the Oracle Lens. This is not something that I would usually like to do on most enchanters or AP sports, because I like to have the extra ward. But on engaged champions or champions that you roam a lot on, I think this makes a lot of sense. One of the main reasons is because you basically have full bush control with this thing. Because if the enemy team puts down a ward into the bush, you sweep it, you kill it. Now the enemy team has to make a choice. Are they going to put down a ward for your jungler, or are they going to put down the ward for the bush? They can't have both, because you're going to clear one of them. Which in turn just gives you a lot of early game pressure, especially in the lane. Alright, so first things first. Udyr starts topside, we know this, because any bot lane is in position to push the wave as soon as the lane comes up, as soon as we are. This means that Udyr is going to be pathing towards the bot side, same as our Evelyn. Which usually means that Evelyn has to concede his first scuttle, and then go to topside. And Broxah, in this case, is going to be a little bit off tempo. But that is not what ends up happening here, but that is what I'm thinking already. Is that the enemy Udyr, because he's a lot more useful than Evelyn at level 3, level 4, when both junglers come for the scuttle. I think we are pretty much already like thinking that we have to concede the scuttle and we have to concede the fight. I missed a play here, which is obviously not good. The thing about Jinx is that Jinx with rockets pushes the lane really fast, which means that Jinx usually gets to level 2 first, pretty much no matter what. There are very few champions who can outpush the Jinx at level 1. I unfortunately cancel my auto there, and at this point it's pretty clear that, okay, we have already lost the level 2 fight. So I'm just trying to like not take damage at this point. I'm trying to mitigate the amount of damage that I take. I think I accidentally take a Jinx rocket here. No, it's not yet. So never mind. But yeah, the enemy lane gets the push first. Now, here's the problem with this. Is that if the enemy lane is actually smart, what they can do here is they already know that they're going to hit level 2 first. They're going to push the lane in. But what they can do is they can slow down the push, wait until this next coming wave comes a little bit closer. And what that ends up doing is, if they don't just automatically shout the wave as soon as it comes, it's going to start slow pushing into them, and Udyr has a much easier time ganking this lane. So that's what I'm worried about in this situation right now, is that they are pushing the wave into us. The good thing is that they actually didn't push it that hard, and because of my relic shield stacks, I can actually execute these minions much faster, so these minions are not going to be stuck here, or stuck under our own tower, which means the lane is not going to be start slow pushing into them on the next upcoming wave. At least not too hard. Yeah, as you can see, they only wave, yeah, maybe like 2 seconds. 1 to 2 seconds, so it's not that big of a deal. Usually it just doesn't mean that it like really does much, because as you can see, the lane starts miss at the middle. If they had been slower with the push, the lane would meet here, and then they have 2 options. Are they going to start ordering the wave before it even gets here, which means that they're going to be shoving in and make sure that Udyr, or that they can move the river with the Udyr? Or number 2, what they could have done is, if the push was slower and the wave would be here, now they can just last hit these minions, and we cannot help it. The wave is always going to push back into them. The main problem with that is they would have to wait for this next wave, which means that Udyr would already be back towards topside when that happens. So I would not in this situation would not be too worried about it. Is just that if the enemy jungle has started bot side, then this would be a really dangerous spot for us to be in if the lane was over here on wave 3. But I'm just rambling. It doesn't actually like make much of a difference in this game, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking. Yeah. And they do end up pushing it. This usually tells me that they just want to be able to cover Udyr if he goes to the scuttle or goes for the invade. Because now we're going to be stuck on the tower and it's going to be harder for us to push the lane in. Or to meet the invade or scuttle. Yeah. I think I took one extra Jinx rocket here that I shouldn't. I also took that one Jinx or Nami W that I shouldn't. Think about this. The Udyr kind of makes a mistake here. Not really, but kind of. It's kind of a problem with both of the bot lane and the Udyr. Because Udyr going for this this invade is actually not that bad of an idea. The problem is that his bot lane wasn't already moving when he goes for it. Because I'm playing fresh, I don't actually mind missing some of the XP. So as soon as I see the Udyr on the minimap, I start moving. At this point I'm thinking, we just want the Chrome, and then we want to get out. That's what I'm thinking right here. Because the enemy bot lane should be somewhere around here. They should be able to move before the Kai'Sa does. That's what I'm thinking right now. But here's the thing. I'm also noticing that the Vel'Koz is coming, which means that now we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, and 3 from bot lane. Because the Qiyana is not going to be able to move faster than the Vel'Koz in this fight. So now I'm thinking, okay, I can actually go for this play. I have Ignite. I have my all of my abilities up. And the enemy bot lane should not be right here, right now. The problem is that I know that I cannot misplay the situation. Because in high-low, you're pretty much only given between 1 to 3 chances in the early game to be actually impactful in the game. And this is this is probably going to be the most impactful fight that I'm going to have. So if I'm going to go for this play, I have to make sure that it's going to work. So instead of throwing out my hook, like I would say 95% of fresh players would do, what I'm actually doing is I'm making absolutely sure, or I'm giving myself the best possible chances of actually making this play work. So what I do instead is I see that the Evelyn or Broxah is doing decent damage to the Udyr, so I instantly go for the flash play. I have my Ignite, I drop the Ignite instantly, Kai'Sa comes. And notice how I save my hook here. There are 2 reasons why I'm saving my hook and not using it right away. Again, about 95 to 99% of fresh players would actually just throw the hook here. But here's the thing, I don't actually need to throw the hook. Because I'm looking at this going, okay, well Jinx is not here yet. He's not doing any damage to this guy. At the moment, we have a 2v3. Because Kai'Sa is right here. If I drop the Ignite, we have enough damage to kill this guy. Unless he flashes. In which case, if he flashes and my hook is on cooldown, the guy is just gonna live. So what I'm doing here is I'm waiting for the Udyr to flash or possibly flash out of this. So I can then follow it up with a hook because I still have it. Reason number 2. If you kill the Udyr, then I can just hook the Nami. There's no reason for me to be hasty with my hook here. And the Udyr goes down, I save my hook. We get this. Now he flashes out, but he doesn't get away anyway. Qiyana tries to come in. Tries to make the outplay. This actually is a pretty smart play from the Qiyana. Like, kind of. Like, he gets the kill here, but he's probably gonna die for it. If we're just being, or if this is not worth it, he will probably kill Broxah here. But he will probably also die for it, because he's surrounded by 4 people. So if he thinks that getting the kill here is worth his death, then sure. By the way, he goes over the wall. And again, I have no reason to like make this play hasty. So what I'm doing is, I know that the Qiyana realistically only has like one thing that he can do. He cannot run upwards, he cannot run to the tower, he cannot run this way. All he can do is jump over this wall. So what I'm doing is I go into this wall also, get my Hex Flash out. Get this. And then, fortunately, I get my Lantern in time. Because it was really close that the Broxah would have died here. And now, what we do is, This is called the support tax. After you 1v9 the entire game in the early game, you deserve the 77 gold for this this scuttle. Don't even like if your junglers ping you for this or flame you, just mute them and let them know who's in charge. Okay, so in this situation, I think I make a small mistake here. I would say that this is a small mistake, yeah. What I usually tell people is that you should not beeline straight to bot lane every time you reset. You should always go through here, like going through here or going through here, or you go through your mid lane and then back to bot lane. Going straight to bot lane is usually not a good idea, because if something happens on one side of the map, or like in the mid lane, or topside scuttle, or like whatever, if you're going through mid lane, then you're already like halfway there. But if you go straight to bot lane, then you can never make up for this this amount of time that you need to like move from here. This is like 8 to 10 seconds of movement just to like get in position here. Actually, it's a little bit more. But then when I have a look at this, also one of the reasons why I'm going to bot lane here is because of seeing this big wave. Because if they were to freeze this, I would have to go back to bot lane. But then what happens is that I can see that the Jinx is like mindlessly pushing the wave. So what I do is I go, okay, well, Udyr only realistically has one play left in this situation, because he died over here, and we know that he started topside. We know that Udyr did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into 7 invade. He died. He knows that bot-side scuttle is down, and his topside camps are up, because he started with these, and topside scuttle is also up. So with 100% certainty, we know that Udyr is going to be topside doing the scuttle, because he has nothing else to do. And I also see that my Evelynn is going there. I also see that there might be something happening around topside with Jax and Camille. In the meantime, I don't need to be back in bot lane. Why do I not need to be back in bot lane? Because Jinx is mindlessly clearing the wave, which means that now the wave is going to push back into us instead of being frozen over here. If the wave was frozen over here, then I would have to stay in the lane. But because it's not, it's going to slow push. They don't really have the tools to dive this guy, because, again, we know that Udyr is top lane. If we don't know where Udyr is, then I can't move. But in my head, because I know Udyr is over here, if you can find him and keep track of him, these guys cannot dive my Kai'Sa. My Kai'Sa gets to collect all of this farm, all of this solo XP, and in the meantime, because I'm moving on the top side of the map, we have, again, 1, 2, 3, against 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have 4v3 on the top side of the map, while Kai'Sa is not missing anything, missing out on anything in bot lane. So I start moving towards the top scuttle, knowing that the Udyr has to be there. Kiana goes away. So what I'm doing here is, I'm thinking, okay, he's already pushed up pretty far. My mid lane is stuck here. My Evelynn is still doing golems. So what I'm doing here is I'm just popping this blast cone or this vision plant, and just like trying to intimidate whoever is in here or who might be coming for Camille, to like make them second guess if it's gonna be worth it. Also, because they should know that Evelynn should be topside, they might think that the person popping the plant is actually the Evelynn, because they don't really know where I am right now. And we end up not seeing anybody. I also bought myself tier 2 boots. This is something that I pretty much always do, by the way. Tier 2 boots as soon as you can. I also get a pink board. And now, notice my little movement here. As soon as the ward goes in the bush, I'm already walking away. Way too often I see people going into unwarded territory, because we know that Udyr should be topside, right? We also saw the Kiana moving to topside. It's somewhat likely that they could be over here somewhere. So instead of like going here, putting down the ward and then keeping the movement up, or like even worse, stopping, the second that I get into range of putting down the ward, I already start moving up. Just make sure that I'm not gonna get killed here. But then I see the scuttle, And I'm pinging for Evelyn, Broxah.com. Also, this ping board over here. Now the jig is kind of up, because everybody knows that I'm here. So now that enemy knows that we have the strong side of the top side. So, with that in mind, and because we don't see anybody, and I have Velgas over here, and Evelyn's already moving, with Jax under the tower, I know that if the enemy team tries to go and can kill me here, they actually cannot. They will die, because my team is gonna be there to follow it up. So now I can pretty reassuringly, without having to worry about it, take this pink ward, because if the enemy team does come, then they are going to die. And Kiana does show in topside. And over here, I'm thinking, well, Udyr is not here, even though I thought he would be here. But we know that he still has to be topside. He's just in Tay Skull for some reason. But he has to be here somewhere. So I'm thinking, okay, well, Udyr must be thinking that he cannot go off this scuttle because of some reason. So what he's doing now is he's going from Grom to Wolves to Raptors. And now he's going back to a spot side. And now, remember what I was talking about? Because we know where Udyr is, I can actually just leave the Kai'Sa alone because they cannot dive him 1v2. But now, knowing that Udyr is going towards bot side, I'm thinking, okay, well, now Udyr can actually go bot lane and 3-1 my Kai'Sa. So now I have to press B and go back to bot lane. That's my thought right here. So I already start back pressing B here, but then I see the Kiana moving from top side back towards mid lane, because Vel'Koz has pushed in the lane already. This is something that way too few people think about when they're playing Thresh. Just, creating picks with this champion. This is why I tell people that you really want to be putting vision in the enemy jungle, because then you can make these plays a whole lot easier. But either way, because we see the Kiana here, and I see the Camille already moving, I have my Hex Flash, I can get in position here and catch the Kiana when he's trying to go back to mid lane. So I Hex Flash over the wall. Unfortunately, he misses the stun. I do make one mistake over here. I'm gonna replay it back, just in case you guys want to like think about it on yourself, on your own. What is the mistake that I do in this play? The mistake that I do here is I break one of my my rules of Thresh, which is I don't save my play for dashes. The reason why I didn't in this case is because I thought that was just gonna kill him. Like, he cannot run away from this. But what I actually should have done is, knowing that Talia can dash through the swamp, I should actually wait a couple of seconds until I know that he's gonna be close enough. Even though he's in stealth, you can actually still kind of like guess when he's going to be dashing over this this swamp to safety. And I could pretty easily, if I was paying attention to it, I could pretty easily time it. The reason why I didn't think about this is because of the Evelyn charm already being on her, and I just figured that he's going to hit the charm, and then he can't do anything about this. But that's the mistake that I did there. And again, Udyr is not here. This could potentially be another mistake, if you really want to call it that. Because Udyr is not here for some reason. He might, but the thing is that his Gromp and his walls are still up. So I'm a little bit confused. Where is Udyr right now? Because he should be somewhere around here. Because his Gromp and his walls are up. But at the same time, I don't think he had enough time to go straight to bot lane. And looking at the wave in bot lane, this wave should die before Udyr can do anything, especially because I see that the Jinx and the Nami are not like pressuring for a dive or anything. So at this point, even though I'm still roaming, like I have left the lane for about 80% of the game so far, I'm still constantly looking at this. I'm looking at the wave state. I'm thinking, where's the Udyr? Can they dive my ADC 1v2? Like, I'm constantly thinking about this because the number one rule of roaming, in my opinion, your ADC cannot die for your badly timed roams. It's a really bad thing for you, or in your gameplay to happen, if it happens constantly. If you roam and your ADC dies, just know that about 80% of the time, it's probably your fault. Even though in like gold, platinum, whatever, lower, your like MF walks up all over the enemy tower and just like gets ran down. That happens, but just know that a lot of the time it's because you mistimed your roam and you were not paying attention to the wave and you were not paying attention to where the enemy jungle is. But either way, I see the wolves and I help this guy take them. At this point I thought I was gonna die. So what I do is I'm trying to hex splash over the wall. Unfortunately, I missed this. Hex splash in the wall because I don't have time to charge it up. This hook might look a little bit weird to you, but what I was actually trying to hit here are the walls. Because at this point I'm going, okay, well, I just want to like leave. I don't want to fight this. So if I can hit the walls, I can queue myself over the wall and then we can just leave. And then we're fine. I end up missing it. I throw on W for myself. Fortunately, our Vel'Koz level 6 over the wall. Gets a pretty decent ult off. Also, Evelyn does quite a bit of damage as they're trying to kill me. So this does end up being good for us. One of the reasons also is because this is a 4v3. Okay. So again, notice my pathing. I am not going straight back to bot lane. I'm kind of like hovering around, seeing if like this guy might need my lantern, like if somebody like comes over and tries to like chasing, whatever. I'm not gonna be missing pretty much anything of importance in bot lane anyway, because I'm only gonna be missing a couple of seconds by doing this. What this pathing also does for Thresh is actually I'm just gonna let this clip play out so you can actually see what is another really big benefit of doing this. So, I think this is a pretty bad mistake from the Nami, because he should be thinking about this. Like, this is kind of inexcusable in like Grandmaster level games. And the thing is, I don't actually need to really hit this hook to kill him. They should just back away from the tower here. They should not be even like trying to hit it, because they should be thinking, okay, well, Thresh has already like done this whole thing in topside. He's probably reasoning coming back to bot lane because he has nothing else to do. He should be coming back to bot lane, and he might be trying to look for like a flank or like just like trying to make a play here. But the thing is, I don't actually need to hit this hook on the Nami. Even if the Nami and the Jinx are over here, I can actually still kind of make this play, because what I could do here is what I call the minion taxi. I stand over here and hook the minion instead. Recast the Q, get on top of the Nami or the Jinx. Throw down the lantern from my Kai'Sa and then look for a fight. The problem with that is if I get hit by a Nami Q, I'm probably gonna die. So I kind of have to hit the hook on the Nami here, but not really. I think I would live, just because I have so much extra movement speed and extra HP for my items. I don't actually think that even if I was to hit the minion and minion taxi, I don't think I would die. So this is another mind game that I'm going to do here. It's a really subtle one, but it's something that like not nearly enough people do. So I don't know if you noticed it. It's a really small thing. Look at it from the enemy's perspective. Actually, this is okay. So I did not know that this was warded, but the idea here is by killing the wave and then walking up. If this is not warded, this makes me question, or this makes the enemy team question again. Is the Thresh going to mid lane? Where is he going? Right? You don't want to show yourself on the map. You always want to keep the enemy guessing where you are on the map. Because what I'm actually planning to do here is, after pressing B, I want the enemy to think that I'm mid lane, but I'm actually looking at top lane because the wave is over here. I'm thinking maybe if I can go top lane, we might be able to kill this guy. This is just a small little mind game that I do again. Because if there was no ward here, they might be thinking that that Thresh or that the enemy Thresh is gonna be here. What this also does is it provides like fake pressure on mid lane. Because if they think that I'm here, then the enemy lane is probably going to be playing a whole lot safer. Especially because I've already shown that I'm willing to move a lot on the map. And either way, the enemy team, if this was not warded, what I'm thinking here is that any team should think that I am on the bottom side of the map. They would not think that I would show up on the top side. Because I showed myself, like I showed the intent that I want to go into mid lane. This is something that you can also do with bushes. This is something I like to do. After pushing the wave in, what you can do is you can intentionally make it look as if you're going to the bush. Like you push the wave in, and you retreat, you go into the bush. But your actual intent is that you go to mid lane. But because you made the enemy think that you're in the bush, they think that the lane is 2v2. And if they think that you're in the bush, they are not going to be pinging their mid laner that, hey, Thresh is going to mid lane. You can also do it in reverse. Where if you push the lane, you can hug this wall and go over here, and then try to sneak into the bush. So now it's the opposite. Now the enemy thinks that you left for mid lane, and that you left your ADC into a 1v2. But what you're actually doing is that you're sitting in the bush, and like trying to bait them into walking into your enemy, into your ADC 1v2. This is especially good if you can win the 2v2 and you know it. Just like small little mind games like these is what you need to be playing when you're playing this champion. Or like pretty much any champion that's like somewhat reliable on early game aggression. So I think this is another small mistake that I do here. Is that I did not notice that he went into stealth. I noticed that he hit level 6, but I was not sure if Jax saw him walk out of the bush. The mistake here is that I walk out of the bush also. I should have waited in the bush for like 1 to 2 seconds more. Waited for Broxah to walk closer to the Jax and make sure that he hits the Evelyn Charm. Because if he hits the Evelyn Charm, then I pretty much guarantee hit my hook. And we kill this guy. But the problem is that I didn't actually wait long enough because I thought that the Jax saw the Evelyn coming out of the bush. So that is a small mistake. That probably was another kill if I wanted it. So like over here again. Now because the enemy team knows that I'm topside. Now I'm thinking, oh shit, I have exposed myself. So now I'm thinking, okay, well. Now bot lane my Kai'Sa is again in danger. Because they know that I'm not in the lane. So now, Udyr, if he wants to, they can push the wave in, and they can try the 1v3. So what I'm doing here again is I'm going. I break the shield of the scuttle, and then I'm pinging that I'm going to bot lane. But then I notice that there's something happening over here, and I immediately turn around because again, this should be a thing that you have in your checklist. By the way, like you should have a checklist of things that you're thinking about. One of the checklist things is that you should always think how many people are in this fight. A lot of the times I tell people that I think of the map as like 4 quarters of the map, and I'm always trying to think how many people are on which side of the map for us and for the enemy team. If you have more people here, then you can usually force a play. We know that the enemy team can only have between 1, 2, and 3, because Udyr is not showing anywhere. Both of their solomoners are here, and we can also see that the Jinx is bot lane, but we don't actually see the Nami. But at this point, I'm pretty sure that the Nami should not be close by. So we should have the mana advantage here, and we're also further, or like we are pretty far ahead of the enemy team at this point. So I'm feeling pretty confident about making this play. The Nami does end up showing up, which I was not expecting. I'm gonna be honest. I was not expecting the Nami to show up, but it kind of makes sense because we could see him going B, and I have already shown myself that I like to roam a lot. So now Nami might just be thinking that he has to like match the roam, which is correct. He should be trying to match my roam. It's that his team is too far behind to like actually make it work now. So I'm thinking here, okay, well Nami is already dead. I've already used all of my cooldowns. I might as well go up to this fight and see what I can do here. I might as well try to like get some space or like create some space. See if anybody needs my help, because the Velka should not really need my help at this point. Killing the Nami. But then the Kiana tries to go on top of the Velka, so now I have a new target, because I just want to like make sure that the Kiana has as hard of a time to kill the Velkos as possible. This is another small mistake that I do here, because I was looking at this, and I knew that he was gonna hit the stun. As soon as I know that he's gonna hit the stun, I look for the flash. The problem is that the Camille E actually pushes Jax a little bit further up, so this hook actually misses. So a small mistake over here, but the Jax still ends up dying, so it's not that big of a deal. And over here, I'm kind of thinking of making another play, but I think it's probably a good idea to like press B here, because one thing about League of Legends is that you just want to like keep stacking these like small leads. It's like a set of stairs. You want to keep stacking, you get one win, you reset, you make another play, you reset, you get another play, and then you just like slowly climb down, climb up the ladders, and then you get the W. Problem is that, like most League of Legends players, they want to be lazy. Like they want to take the elevator, and then they become fat. Yeah, don't take the elevator. Just take small wins. You can't go to the top right away with the elevator without being unhealthy. So I think pressing B here is probably the right call, because if something goes wrong there, then we're just giving away shutdowns and we're throwing the game that is already won. Okay, so this is the first time for a while that I've shown myself going back towards bot side. The reason why is, again, we don't know where the Udyr is. So I might as well be over here and make sure that the Kai'Sa is not gonna die to like a random Udyr gank. I'm also kind of behind on my relic shield stacks, on my shoulder guard stacks, so I kind of want them. Also, one thing that this does, again, notice the vision of the enemy team, or notice the vision of the enemy team. I show myself in bot lane, because this is kind of like I call it like a block. Like showing myself in bot lane like this blocks any chance of Udyr coming to bot lane and trying to kill us. Because if I'm in bot lane, there's no play in bot lane. So I kind of like show myself in bot lane, and then I disappear out of the vision again. And now again, this makes the enemy think, is Udyr or is Fresh still around here, trying to like make it so that the Udyr can't gank, or is he leaving again? You always want to keep them guessing. You don't want to tell people where you are. Like way too often when I coach people and they play Fresh or like any champion and they roam, they're just way too honest. It's like you're a Victorian era like gentleman or something, and going with your little top hat and monocle and like cigar, going, "Shall we duel today, good sir?" But it's not how you want to play these champions, or like any champions for that fact. You want to always just be like showing myself over here, and then leaving. It puts pressure on 2 lanes at once, even 3 if you think about the Udyr being a lane. Like I'm putting pressure on bot side, mid lane, and jungle at the same time, just because I don't show myself, and I don't like hit the tower for like no reason, as I would see way too many people do. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so we do end up seeing the Nami here. I'm sweeping, making sure that they don't see me again. I don't want to be shown. The reason why I do this little thing, by the way, is because I'm thinking, okay, well, Nami is probably thinking that he's not gonna get anything in mid lane. He's probably gonna go back to bot lane. That's what I'm thinking. So I walk over here, trying to like see if the Nami is gonna walk up, but then we see the Nami in mid lane. Yeah, with the Jinx, and also this is again a small little thing. But like, look at the enemy's vision over here. Yeah, it's already too late. Because of the Evelynn stealth, I could see that the wave of minions over here is coming to the tower. So what I don't want to show here. I have no reason to show, because if the Evelynn and the Kai'Sa dive the Jinx 1v2. Because we know, again, Nami is over here. We know that Udyr is not anywhere here, because his colors are down, his walls are down. He's not gonna be here. So we know that Evelynn is, or that Jinx is gonna be alone, pretty much no matter what. So I have no reason to show here. They're gonna kill this guy pretty much, like, always. Jinx can't do anything here, he's gonna die, always. The only way that this play fucks up is if I show over here, and people start moving to bot lane. I don't need to be a part of this play for it to work. So I make it so that I don't get seen on these minions, and then after the minions pass, I start walking. And again, I'm kind of over here. Again, I don't need to be a part of this play. They get this without me, for sure. I don't need to be here. But if people do come over here, and the Evelyn dies, that's a big shutdown to give. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm acting like a blocker again. I'm making sure that anything cannot get to the Jinx and like save him and kill the Evelyn. I just like playing defensive over here during this dive. I just want to make sure that nobody can stop this. I do want to go into bot lane, and I wanted the lanterns this, but I didn't get it. So again, I show myself in bot lane for a while. Herald goes down. I know at this point that the tower is gonna go down. I have no reason to be in bot lane again. Why would I? Because I know the golems are down. I know wolves are down. Udyr has no reason to be here. Even if he gets the kill, it's like not worth his time. Maybe at this point it actually is, because he's the Kai'Sa probably has a decent shutdown. And yeah, he doesn't even have shutdown. Yeah, it's not even worth his time to come here. So again, I don't need to be here. I might as well go away and look for something else. And then notice again, like way too many people would make this play so hasty. You don't need to be hasty. Look at the amount of HP that this Vel'Koz has. I don't need to rush this. Because Vel'Koz is already cutting towards me. All I have to do is wait for the Jax to walk into my hook. Yeah. Just chill. Just wait. So we get the dragon. And at this point the game is pretty much over. There's realistically nothing that anything can do to win this game at this point. The rest of the game is a formality. But I can notice on the enemies, like, let's look. Look how little I'm showing myself on the map. I'm like always trying to like dodge out of vision when it's needed. Trying to mess this up. But yeah, the game is over again. Nothing you can do. I think the game was over probably at around... I think at this invade, the game was probably over after this. In 6 minutes, the game was done. Yeah. That is my self-review. I hope this helped you guys out. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time.